Welcome to Fur Real Life Podcast with Judy Weiss, the host of Judy's Dog Report blog and Making Ethical Dog Care Choices YouTube channel, along with Air Gustafson, founder of Morty, and Brew. We're two friends just talking about life with dogs. Hi, Air.
Hi, Judy. Long time no see.
Long time no see and no speak. How are you?
I'm all right. It's been raining here for 2 days now. I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. So it's I like it because it makes things really, green and lush, and then gonna come bugs after that. So
we were in a deep heat wave.
Yeah, we had
up
that
until
few
today,
weeks ago.
for about 4 or 5 days, where it went up to 116 Fahrenheit.
Yeah,
it was bad. So
I know,
my little puppy, we didn't go out until the evening because I'm not a morning person. So I can't get up early enough to get out before the heat sets in. So I take him in the evening. But it was pretty brutal. And now today it's raining, not hard, but it's like an all-day rain.
It's
which
like
is
a soaker,
really what we need.
Yeah,
because we got to do what we can with our dogs. I guess when you had your heat wave, you stayed inside also.
Right. Well, I'm a morning person, but my dog, this one, the Zephyr here, she's like early riser, like 5:30. She's like up and ready to go. So I was like, okay, since it's gonna be so hot, so we'd usually go for our morning walk right around 6 o'clock ish.
Nice.
And I like the quiet morning. And my older dog, Miss Morty, gets to sleep in. So whenever she gets up, she's 14-year-old, so she's like napping is her full-time job now. So whenever she gets up, I'll take her for a little stroll.
Yes.
It's all worked out, but definitely not after 9 o'clock because not just the heat, but the humidity. It's just like it's walking
so
through thick, like, I don't know. It's just almost like you have this, invisible blankets in the air.
And it feels like
so hard.
It feels like it's hard to get the oxygen in your lungs.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I grew up in Thailand, which is a tropical, and the humidity is, nothing to me. I can handle it pretty well, and I can still feel it. So it means for other people that, have less exposure to that must feel really, really hard to breathe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Just imagine like you're wearing this fur coat and no shoes and you go for a walk. That probably must feel like for our dogs, right?
Oh, it must be unbearable. and the cement can really burn their pads on their feet.
Yeah, but that's a summer heat wave.
But and us Canadians, like all we talk about is weather, it seems. So no matter where we are in Canada. But in the winter, it can be too cold literally to be out, right? Because it's like, I'm going to put it in Fahrenheit, below 30 degrees Fahrenheit, which is freezing, literally. And and unless you can get boots on on the dog's paws, they can get frostbite on their paws, so that's not good. And then we have summer, and they can burn their paws. I will say this: for the most part, like I love going hiking with my dog, and for the most part, from November to April, it's like perfect weather for hiking.
Yeah. It's I mean, it just depends on the time of days too. It's
true.
I like morning walk because it's crisp. It's like brand new day and everything is just like untouchable at the moment, right? Until like people start to wake up and things start to get like chaotic. And the evening walk has a different feeling for me. Depends on the dog too. Like,
see, I'm a nighttime person, and so if there weren't mosquitoes and coyotes, I would walk farther with him at night because it's just as quiet at night. There's this calmness. And it's peaceful, and it feels cool, and it's great. But it's depending, like now that we've had so much humidity, the mosquitoes are eating me alive. But that would be during the day too, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just more cautious because there's been coyote sightings in our neighborhood.
Mm,
So I'd rather be out in daylight.
sure.
And daylight's
Yeah.
still long, right? Like it doesn't get
Sure.
dark till 9 o'clock. So
Right.
we make it happen.
I know for sure. It's like different flavor depends on. Sometimes it's life happen, right, and it depends on your schedule as well.
Of course.
So,
Yes, we do have to do other things.
oh damn it,
Yeah,
just want to
I
hang out with my
know.
dogs all day.
I wish I could just do that all day.
One of these days, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or
So,
you can just make like one day of the week that you just,
well,
or
I
like
mean, I spend a lot of time doing stuff with him. And you know what? Something like we're doing right now is a good time for him to just chill, mellow out, take a nap, you
right,
know? So that
right.
they need to. A vet told me that they need all dogs, regardless of age, need 15
Hmm.
to 16 hours of sleep a day.
Oh, for sure. It's just like rest and reset, right? It's just
Yes.
like when
Yes.
you sleep, this is when your brain makes sense of the world. It's just
Yes.
like, so let them nap, let them
Yes.
dream, and then
Yes.
the healing process is not loud, it's like quiet. It's like
Yes.
the stillness
Yes.
that's what everybody needs, right?
Including us.
Oh, definitely, especially when it's rainy and kind of, all this
I, I do love
all this
rainy
like
days
the
because you have
sound.
the
I like the
windows
sound.
open and you can hear the rain, and
Yeah.
there's something, I don't know, nostalgic about it. It gives me childhood memories.
Yeah, it's that's a good point because like I said, I grew up in Thailand, right? And in the countryside, and so we don't really have a whole lot going on back in the day.
Hmm.
And it's weird because before the rain, I can smell it because we have this like red dirt road, and the
Yes.
humidity and the heat kind of rise up, and it's
Ah,
before the rain.
uh-huh.
And that's distinct smell. Like, it's gonna rain sometimes pretty soon here. You better get home or whatever you do. It's just one of those, but I haven't smelled it here. I haven't found any
Oh, you
red
haven't
dirt
smelled it
roads.
here.
Yep. But anyways, yeah, that's a good good memory lane to walk down.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I grew up in Montreal. I live in Toronto now, for the last, I won't say how long. It's a long time. Not
It's
to
a
date myself,
secret.
but I grew up in Montreal where, as cold as their winters were, I don't know about now with
Hmm.
climate change, their summers were filled with rain and
Mm,
humidity. And so it's all, I can relate to what you're saying.
hmm.
It's it it felt like that for me, like
Yep.
that rainy, humid scent in the air.
Yeah, it's like a simpler times, where the weatherman just do the best with what the equipment they had at the time, and they got like 50-50. But because it's I don't know what it is, but it just feel like simpler time back then that you don't have a whole lot to rely on, but your own sense,
Yes,
your
I
own
agree.
awareness, and
Yes,
that's what's like you learn to notice the nature rhythm, things like that. Yeah.
yes, I agree. And they do say we're losing a lot of our natural responses, senses,
Sure.
whatever,
Hmm.
because of technology. But
Yeah, that's
on
part part of
to our
yeah, part of
moving on to
life.
our topic today, which is home sweet home, the first 30
Yep,
days of bringing a dog home, which is always so exciting.
for sure. It's mixing with the at least for me, I feel like it mixing with a hinge of anxiety, not in
Yes.
like a bad way that I'm gonna break down and
No.
decompose myself, but
Right.
it's like, do I do enough? You know, is
Am I
is this the
prepared?
right? It's like, is this the right environment for my new puppy? Just because I have one previously and it works wonder for her, it doesn't mean it's gonna do the same thing for the next dog, right?
Exactly.
So each dog
Right.
is very unique. So
Yes.
that's to me like it is about like transition period, right? And it is the adjustment, and it's a two-way street when it comes to adjustment. Like, it's not just for us to prepare the home like physically for
Right.
them, the good meal, the playtime, blah blah blah, you name it, but it's almost equally important to prepare ourselves to become a better communicator, a better leader, and a better observer of our new dog, right? So that to
Right.
me like a little hint of anxiety coming. It's like, am I well prepared for this new one? Because I know I have bad habits and good habits that I have formed in the
Yes.
past with Morty, right? And
Right.
so it's a good reminder when you bring new
And it's a
puppy
new
into your home.
learning experience.
Oh yeah,
Even
everybody
if
has.
even if someone's had dogs before, every dog is
Yeah,
different,
right.
whether
And
it's a
so
puppy
it's
or a rescue.
right. So it's just give yourself room to explore just as much as you do allow your dogs to explore new environments, right? And
Yes.
don't rush or jump into the training right away. I don't dismiss that. Don't get me
Right.
wrong. I believe in training, but
Yes.
it's just like when you bring a new puppy in, make sure
Or
you give
even a rescue.
right or like when I said puppies, like dog of any age that you
Oh,
bring into
yes.
your home, right?
Yes.
And it just um give that dog a time to decompress on
Right.
his or her own time.
Right.
Just think about like when you visit new places, some people travel light, right? With just one backpack and
Right.
they're good to go.
Right.
Some will bring the entire home with them, like
Right.
many suitcases, and it takes time to unpack things. So
Right.
if you think of it in that context, like some dogs adjust so quickly, some
Yes.
would take time. Even like I'm afraid to put my luggage down. I don't know this place. So
Right.
it's
You
one of
that's
those
a
things
really
that's
good analogy.
yeah, just like give them that. It's gonna be challenging when we first met, but again, space is important. Not like just physical space, but mental space for you
Yes.
to, yeah, that's
And it's our job to do the best we can to read their body language
hmm
because that's how they communicate with us.
right.
And to
And some,
recognize,
yeah, go ahead.
am I getting too close? Are you not comfortable with me petting you on your head? Or um, some dogs are just genetically sensitive or
hmm
nervous about
Right.
approach of being touched, and they've
hmm
never been abused. Some are just genetically born that way. So there's techniques to desensitize them to that, but it could take months, and I mean, if you don't know how, you consult with a good force-free dog trainer,
Right.
and you work through it. And it could be
hmm
5 minutes a day, just so you don't overwhelm the dog, because
Right.
we want to get things done, right? We
Oh,
want
yeah,
them.
definitely.
We want
Like we
results.
want, yeah, you want like your dog to be like good to go. Come
Yes.
on,
Yes.
let's go out and about. Let's hit the town. It's like
Yes.
they have not even put down the luggage yet. Just
Right.
like I said, just
Right. Let
I
alone
I
open the
will, yeah.
luggage.
It just it almost like you create a new culture, right? It's not just a training behavior. It's not just about preparing all this home or the beds, the crate and things like that. But it just like every moment you spend with your dog it is shaping their worldview, right? And also yours.
Yes.
It's a learning experience for both ends. And
And that's the approach, the best approach, because the only way we can tell the dog that they can trust us is by showing them. And the
right,
only way to
and
show them is your approach, as you're saying. I agree. It's like take it little by little.
hmm
See if your dog is coming closer to you. If they're moving away, it means you've done something that is making them a little bit nervous.
hmm
It's all these little subtleties
yeah, for sure.
because they can't speak English.
Or
so,
Thai.
so they can't tell us, that you're hugging me too hard, or you're coming too close to me. I really don't like when you touch my paws. Can we wait
Right,
until I get better at this?
right. Or
Um, I mean, there are things that as humans,
hmm
we have certain expectations, like when the dog goes out in the rain in the backyard, we want to dry them all off. Well, we
hmm
need to condition them to, if they, you don't, we don't know. Certainly a puppy probably has not had that experience, like a brand new young puppy. A
sure.
rescue, we don't know if they've had that experience. And all of a sudden we're grabbing their paws with a towel.
Yeah.
They're
It's
like,
like come
what
at
are
them
you
like
doing?
what is that thing? Get it off me,
Right. Right. So it's all about
Yeah.
taking little baby steps. And if it
hmm
means your dog is roaming around the house wet, it's only
hmm
temporary. It's
Right.
until you've shown him or her that this is something I really need us to do because I really don't want mud all over my house. you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, to them, they don't understand that.
No, they don't even
It's
care.
almost like a toddler, right?
Yeah.
A human toddler that puts a baby, a young child puts their fingers in, they're outside in the backyard and they start playing with, let's say, earth on the ground. And they
Hmm.
come in and their hands are all dirty. And we want to immediately wash them. But I think a better approach is like talking to the child, even if they don't totally understand, and say, okay, we need to wash your hands, to gently, take them over to the sink and make sure the temperature's right of the water and make a game out of it even. And here's
Hmm.
the other thing. The best way to bond and to build a relationship with a dog is with games
Sure. Yeah.
and
Agreed.
any kind of game. But these
Hmm.
games will build their response to us so much that it'll increase the likelihood of a high level of recall.
Hmm.
And it
Yeah.
comes from fun things like
Right.
a basic game is teaching them to touch your hand
Hmm.
and with their little nose. And not only is that a fun game for them initially, when you train them, you give them a treat for doing that when they do it right and shaping that behavior. But one day, if they're off leash, and let's say they, heaven forbid, they escape out of your front door, if you could say the word touch and put your hand out, and they, hoping they're not, like, not if they're going to cross the street to get to you, you know what I mean? But if they're, let's say, on your lawn and they can safely come to you, that will
Hmm.
increase the odds of a successful recall. So that's
Hmm.
just one example of a game of drawing the dog to us,
Hmm.
and it's fun. It's fun for
Hmm.
us. It's fun for them. Um, we got to be careful with any shaping training that we keep doing little baby steps
Hmm.
so that we build up their confidence
Hmm.
and don't set them up for failure, you know?
Right.
And
I
it
mean,
also teaches them to make the right choice.
hmm.
So over time, when they get rewarded for making multiple right choices in different scenarios for whatever we're asking them to do by training them with little steps at a time, we're giving them the chance to build the confidence. Say, I know what she wants. I'm not confused,
Hmm.
right? Um, you and I've talked about this before. Is to be is to approach our training with clarity,
Hmm.
so that we're not vague. um, we're not wanting them to do one thing, but showing them something else.
Right. Yeah.
We do that to each other as humans all the
Oh,
time.
crap, all the time. But, lucky for us, we can verbally communicate and clarify what,
Yes,
what we like, we say what we didn't say, right? That kind
right,
of thing.
right,
Like,
right,
okay, okay, that's what you mean. Gotcha. But
right.
for dogs, sometimes we unintentionally confuse them because of our own
Yes,
habits.
and often,
So,
most of the time, it's unintentional,
oh yeah, and it's
right?
just one of those that clear and concise and make it
Yes,
short. The
yes,
longer you talk, the more you can muddy the water for your dog, right? That kind
yes,
of thing. But yeah,
yes,
I agree. Just refer back to what you just said. It's a compound success, right? Little thing over
yeah,
time
yes,
make a bigger, more impactful
yes,
result. So
yes,
just play is it sounds silly, but it's like learning should be fun, right?
yes,
And they don't need to know that we are training them. They
right,
just need to know that this is fun. This
yes,
is whatever I did, she likes it or he
yes,
likes it. I'm gonna
yes,
keep doing that. So that's
yes,
that little kind of feeling or the pattern that
yes.
the dog going to recognize that okay, doing things with
When she starts
Judy is
doing that,
fun. Yeah,
I get to do
right,
this, and then I
right.
get something
And
fun happen, whether it's a toy or a treat or even just another game. Another game
right.
could be a reward.
And that is the comfort level, right? And comfort doesn't mean spoil, right? Comfort to me, when the dog feel comfortable with you, it means that they feel a little safer with you.
Yes, yes,
And that is the big difference between,
yes,
um, just command versus work with them. Like
yes,
there'll be time that you need to be very firm and non-negotiable, of course, when it come to
yes,
certain situation. We can't
yes,
always be like, let's talk about it. It's like, we will talk about it, but right now, do what I said, and we talk about it when we get home or whatever,
Right.
right? It's a delicate
But the
balance,
interesting
but
thing about that is, those emergency moments when we need to verbally communicate something and for the dog to respond, they won't necessarily respond unless we've done those gradual things before then.
right. So it's
So,
a foundation to get to
yes,
that point that
yes,
like the verbal command would be a very to me it's like, oh my gosh, this is the dreams, right? Because it means that they truly understand what we need. But
yes,
for now, when we start building this, especially bringing a new puppy home, it's that
yes,
what you do matters more than what you say.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
excuse us, you're just gonna have to get off your butt and be with them physically. Like say when
Yeah,
you said drop it, you're gonna have to be there and tell them drop it mean this. Do something, not just like verbal and expect them to know it
right,
right away.
right.
That is the pitfall that I have noticed in
Well,
s-
uh,
in many situations, myself included, when I start noticing that, because I jumped to the conclusion that yes, that's my ultimate goal, to be verbal with my dog, but she's not understand it yet. So she's like, "What?" Blah blah blah, and she, kind of
but
flip me off,
it's
and
also more than
so
just
it.
understanding. Dogs will get to a point where they will decide whether they want to do it for you or
Oh yeah,
not.
they will give you a look, and you can tell they're
Yes,
thinking like,
right,
"What's in it for me?"
right.
So
It's more like it becomes a problem when there's distractions that they really rather pay attention to. Let's say like a
oh,
squirrel. Someone told me that she took some sessions from a trainer that said to her, and I love this, said to get a high degree of recall success, you have to be sexier than a squirrel to your dog.
oh, for sure, yeah, or like smellier than the dead fish.
Right.
That kind of
Right.
comparison, yeah,
Right. So,
totally.
and there's no guarantees. Like, I want to
Hmm.
make it clear to people listening to us, you could put all the correct work into it.
Hmm.
And some distractions are so high in value
Sure.
beyond their love for us,
Hmm.
um, that we just have
Just
to have a plan B when they don't respond.
yeah, it just like us, like the impulse control can crack. Just like, okay, I'm gonna be on a diet, right? That kind of thing. That you're doing so good, you
Yeah.
you hit your weight goals, you are in a better shape, you go to gym, blah blah blah. Here comes New Year's, and like, oh my gosh, so many parties to go to,
Right.
that kind of little thing.
Right.
It's give yourself a realistic expectation that all the work and effort that you do will pay off, and also like you said, have a plan B, what happened if
Right.
things go sideways, right?
Because because the
And it's.
world, we can't control the environment. We can't control what's in the environment.
Mhm.
Um, so we have to have some kind of plan B when something in the environment is just too wonderful for
Yeah,
your dog to ignore.
it's too wild, like never seen it before, or like
Yeah.
very novelty, right?
Yeah.
Very
Or even if
novelty
it's
to them.
something that they've seen before. Like, so I'm working with impulse control on my 2-year-old pup. And
Hmm.
I, I'm being realistic. I doubt it. I will ever, if he ever trust him to be off leash, um, out in our hikes, because he will chase a squirrel.
Hmm.
He will chase a chipmunk. And when he was on leash, oh my God, it was a good thing he was on leash. Um, it's because I can't have a pet squirrel to train him with. You know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah,
I could have
well,
a pet
that might be a,
squirrel,
a new business model. Yeah, have a pet squirrel to
like
tame
if
the
I could
dog.
have a pet squirrel in my backyard and say, look, if he gets too close to you, then run. I don't want him to catch you. But can you just stay there for a minute so we can build up a closer and closer distance to you, Mr. Squirrel, so that I can condition my dog to listen to me rather than stare at you, right?
Hmm.
So I'm just trying to let people know that all this work you're talking about is beneficial because it's so much better than doing nothing.
Sure.
it
Yep.
gives you that chance
Hmm.
of getting your dog to respond in a highly exciting environmental moment. Because
Right.
without that foundation, you won't even stand a chance.
No, you can build a house without foundation, right?
Right.
You
Right.
can build like this tweak house, like use of these little branches, but yet you're still gonna have a little foundation before you have the posts and things like that. So if you think of the foundation as just how strong or how big you want your house to be, that's how you put your
Right.
effort into building that foundation, right? And
Yes. Yeah.
again, it's no guarantee 100% in this world. I don't
Right.
I don't think that is
Fair.
realistic expectation,
I agree.
but it will increase your likelihood of
Yeah.
having a better outcome,
Absolutely.
and
And
that
that's what
that
I
is the
that's what
chance
I
we will
wanted to
take, right?
convey here. Yeah.
Yeah, and same with like bringing new puppy into your home. There's no guarantee that we will have everything. The perfect is not the right word, but everything set up the way our dog's going to be comfortable 100% at a time. But what
Right.
we can do is making sure that when they like experience that discomfort, we have a way to help them decompress. We have a
Right.
way to help them regulate that
Right.
and bring them to their normal selves in
Yes.
a really reasonable pace.
Yes.
That's what I think the takeaway here. That's as much as we like to protect our dog, but we can't put them in the bubble,
No.
right? And we
And it's really
we
tempting to do that.
oh heck yes, it's easier to just like don't do this, don't do that, and just control every moment of their life. And
Right.
that's I don't think that's the life anybody would like to experience. That you want to have the ability to choose your own path, but with our guidance, right? I'm talking about our
And here's
dogs
the
making their
thing,
own decision.
letting go in a safe environment for them to explore and maybe make some bad choices when bad to us. But
Hmm.
I mean, it could be bad for them, like putting the wrong thing in their mouth. Um, but this is it, when they have more freedom,
Hmm.
it gives them the opportunity to think for themselves,
Yep.
and it gives them the experience over time to make the better choices. And if we pay attention for every little thing they're doing in the house, just watching them. Like, for example, when my dog was, well, when he was really under a year, he wasn't hearing me, and I just had to let him do his thing. It was like, okay,
he
I'll wait
he
till you're,
turned off the volume, right?
yeah,
He's like, I
yeah.
don't hear you.
But once he was like a year or a year and a half, I could tell that he was really once in a while would actually hear what I was saying or paying attention to my body behavior that I was trying to do something with him. And at that point, I started, for example, when I'd be in the kitchen and I noticed that he was lying down on the floor mat by the door instead of being under my feet when I'm cooking. I I don't use a clicker. I won't say the word. I have a word that means that, so I
Hmm.
don't have to carry one around. And then I say that word, and he looks up at me like he's just lying there, all cuddly. And then oh, I did something right. And he waits there while I go get the TREAT and I give it to
Hmm.
him. I have marked that behavior as desirable and rewarding for him. And now he just does it,
Right, and that's
right? So it's a
allow
matter
them
of,
to make
using
mistakes, yeah,
it,
and learn
allow them
from
to
their
make
own
mistakes,
experience.
but
Yep.
to observe the moments that we want to reinforce.
Hmm.
Because if we can, if we can be in the right space at the right time with them and they do something that we want to encourage,
Hmm.
they will start doing that behavior more than anything else because they've gotten reinforcement.
Hmm.
And it's 24/7. But
Right,
it's
and
fun.
it's
It's
right,
fun. I
and
don't mind it. It's like, oh my God, he's doing something exactly that I want him to do right at this moment. And I'll have TREATSs with me. But actually, if people are using classical conditioning, with, I hate even saying clicker, but because he responds to that word. The word that I've paired with a thingy, um,
hmm.
I could say it. I don't need the thing in my hand. I
Hmm.
could say it when he's done something right. And whether he follows me or not to go and get a TREAT in a jar, that's fine. He knows he's getting something. That's the whole point of classical conditioning. You pair the TR, I'm spelling because he knows the word, the
Sure.
TREAT with a word that means that when I say this word, you're going to get a T.
Mm-hmm.
And I've reinforced that behavior without even having one in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
He'll come with me to where it is and I'll give it to
Right.
him because he knows he's going to get that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's amazing how we can communicate with them. And it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing how if we keep our eyes open,
Mm-hmm.
we end up, we can be reinforcing I was going to say positive, desirable behaviors that we really want. And by
Mm-hmm.
doing that, it increases the odds that they'll make that choice to do that in the future, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to chewing my slippers.
Right.
Right.
Right. Again, it's increased the likelihood of them to choose the better choice.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
But
It's
it's upon us to observe it, to observe
right.
what they're doing
Yep.
of all their waking hours, so that we reinforce the behaviors we want,
Right.
rather if by ignoring those good, I'll say good, good, desirable and undesirable behaviors,
Mm-hmm.
it's neutral. They don't
Mm-hmm.
care. They don't understand that it's good or bad. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
would say this: I'm working on having him not grab shoes, and so um, he's at the stage now, all on his own because he's maturing. He's just over 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Is like he grabbed my shoe the other day. I had a friend that was staying here, and she said, "Oh, what?" He said, She said he has something, and I said, "What?" She says, "Your shoe," and I said, "Just ignore him. If we make no big deal out of it, then he doesn't get the attention. Attention can also be a reward."
Mm-hmm.
And so he actually put it down, and I was upstairs when he did this. So I come down, he grabbed it again. I just walked right by him, pretended I didn't see anything, and he put it down. And he thought, "Well, that's no fun."
Well, mission fail. Dun
Yeah,
dun, right?
exactly.
Not
So it's
working
all
out as
these little
planned.
intricacies, right?
Mm-hmm. So it's
That pay attention to them one way or another, whether it's a treat, whether it's petting them. You could even play a game with them for doing something right,
for
because
sure. It's
that'll be
just
the reinforcement for the thing they just did.
yeah, it's so it just come back to give that space for them to explore a little bit. Give them
Yes.
time to think.
Yes.
Give them time to respond to us, right?
Yes.
And it's build the comfort zone for them. And again, comfort doesn't mean spoiling. It just means like they feel more safer to
Yes.
engage with you, and that's gonna give you
Less
more
anxiety.
more room to just build the trust with them. So it's just this like little thing, and again, all this gonna take time. It's
Yes.
not going to happen overnight, just like Rome wasn't built overnight, right?
Oh God,
And
no.
we know what we want.
Yes.
And it just be patient. Like do not expect too much too soon, or
Yes.
do not overcorrect too soon either. So it's a
Well,
really delicate balance there.
what do
It
you mean
it
by
just
correct? I'd like to clarify that. What do you mean by correcting?
like what you just said, when your puppy grab the toy, grab the shoes and running around, and we have the tendency to just grab it out of their mouth
Oh, I
and
see what
said
you're saying.
no.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I mean. Like, do not.
Punish
Depends
them.
on your dog. Yeah, the overcorrecting too soon could be just that attention, unintentional attention that we gave them. Like, give me that shoe, and that's what it's like. I get that reaction. Like it or not, I'm gonna do it
Yes.
again. Versus,
Absolutely. That
just
it ends up
ignore. So,
being a positive thing for them.
and that's goes both ways. Like expecting too much too soon, that eventually he's gonna not doing it, or
That's right.
so it's
Yes.
again, you have to, it is no one solution fits all. It's
No.
try and error, lack of
Yes.
the better term, but
Yes.
make good observation,
And even when we're shaping a behavior that we want, let's just say to get the dog to sit, and let's say they're sort of halfway sitting and halfway lying down because they're not sure what you wanted.
yeah.
And sometimes it happens to me too. I'm getting ready to reward him, and then he moves to a down. I'm like, oh crap. I just rewarded what I would call, well, it was the position I didn't want, but he
Mhm.
started guessing because he was excited.
Yep.
So we need to slow down,
Yep.
let them absorb what we're trying to do, and they might guess, right? They'll sit, stand, lie down. He knows how to cross his paws, so he'll do that, and then I'll wait, and then he goes back to the sitting position, and then I say my word for the clicker, and then I give him the tea, and so it gives him a chance to figure it out,
Mhm. For sure.
and we're reducing the chance of rewarding another behavior rather than what we were looking for,
Mhm.
because it could happen so fast between the time we say yes, that's right, and by the time we say that, he might have all gone into another position.
Yeah, and I mean that's, not just the training, but in terms of um bringing a new dog into the new environment, for example, right? A new home. It's give them a chance to explore, or
Yes,
even when we make mistake, just give us a chance to make it
yes,
right,
yes.
and
We
don't.
will make mistakes.
Oh yeah, and
Because
just,
it's the
we
parts are
only
moving,
humans.
and the parts are moving, right?
Yeah,
It's all moving parts. Like
it just
nothing
y-
is it gives us comfort to think that we have control, but we really don't.
it's, with a new dog in your home, just think of it this way. You expect your dog to follow your rules, but you haven't posed the rule yet,
Right.
right? You don't even
Right.
explain what that means.
Right.
How do they gonna know? So
Right.
first, start with you.
Yes.
What is it that you want, right?
Right.
Make that, and then consider the dog learning style.
Yes.
How do they learn? Are we clicking in that department?
And it'll
Do they
take
feel
time,
comfortable? Oh yeah, like
because
do
when
they
they
feel
walk in your
comfortable in the
door,
home yet? Right?
when they walk
First,
into your door, they have to deal with so much newness
yeah,
that what we're observing of their behavior may not actually be the real
right,
doggy, right?
right,
Like
right.
that doggy might be something else.
Yeah, that doggy
But
still unpack the luggage right
yeah,
now.
right. And so it's unrealistic to say, okay, when the dog arrived, the way the dog was behaving is who he or she is.
Mhm. It's
Because
not fair assessment, I don't
no,
believe.
it's not. It would be like not even just a child. It'd be like you put any human in, if you just pluck them into a new environment without
Yep.
their choice and they didn't know where they were going, they had no
Yeah.
information of where they were ending up. You put them in there, and whatever they do at that moment, we're going to assume that's who they are.
Yeah.
No, they have to
Yeah.
get
Just
acclimatized.
right. It just, again, just imagine yourself being blindfolded and fly across the ocean. You don't even know where you landed. All of a sudden, they open the blind
Right,
and you stand in the jungle. Like, where am I?
right,
Like you don't know, or you stand in the middle of this fancy high-rise building with
right,
1,000 people across the street in
right.
front of you. So you don't know where you are. So you're gonna need time to learn,
Yes,
to navigate, to even
yes,
like speak the language, right?
yes,
So just just imagine that for your dogs when
right.
you bring the new dog to your
Because the
home,
dog
as
didn't
much as you have,
know.
right, as
The
much as
dog
you have
had no
good
way of knowing.
intention.
The dog had no way of knowing where he he didn't know he was going anywhere to begin with.
No.
Then he's in some kind of car, vehicle, whatever. He may not even know what that is. And then, he's taken into, whether it's an apartment building or someone's house. The house is the new home is a house. And they're like, this morning I woke up, let's say in a shelter. I'm in my
Hmm.
usual crate. I know the people, I know the dogs there. I may not be happy, but I know it's familiar to me, right? And then suddenly I'm off. I'm in a car, and then I'm in this new home. that I don't know anything about. Oh my God, these smells. What am I smelling? Right?
Yeah, it's a whole lot. So, you know, I don't want to oversimplify it, but just for the sake of time, it's just that give them really time.
Yes. If
Don't
anything, I think that's
yeah,
how we should end our conversation today.
yeah.
You bring a new dog into your home, give them time.
Yeah, give them time. Yourself
Take,
as well.
yes,
That yeah, give yourself
allow
time to
allow
allow
time for
that.
both of you to get to know each other.
Hmm. Yep.
That's a good start.
That's a good start because time is finite, right? Everybody has 24 hours a day.
Right.
So let's make it worth because that is
Yes.
again, you are building new culture between you and your new
Yes.
dog and the
Yes.
existing environment. And
Yes.
so it's a lot to make sure that it's click in the right sequence.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is in a nutshell. We can
I
talk about
agree.
this all day, but
Oh my goodness,
just want
there.
to give an overview, big picture of
Yes.
what could be a helpful conversation.
Yes. And conversations are so important to for all of us to
Hmm.
have a discussion about living with dogs, which is what our whole podcast is about.
Right.
It's
Right.
navigating life, living with dogs, so that there's joy for both us and them.
Hmm. And remember, as much as we love them, they are still a different species, so their needs might not be aligned with ours. So we have to
Absolutely.
find the happy middle ground, how we can not just coexist but really live harmoniously together in this human dominated world, which
And
is built for
actually,
us, right?
on that note,
It just
I like the mission I have. People know who follow my blog and my YouTube channel is my mission is to change the way our mindset is in general about
hmm
um, and it's all subconscious. It's not intentional
hmm
that we tend to address our needs before the dog's needs. And I say to people, we will get so much out of it if we
hmm
just address their needs first, because
it's
they have
yeah,
no choice, right? They have
they
no choice. So we need to really pay attention to what any dog needs, and then specifically what the individual dog needs. But as a different species, their needs are different from ours. And because they have no choice, they are in our homes, they're in our society, they have no choice about our rules and our cultures and everything else. We need to pay attention to make sure as much as possible that we meet their canine needs first. Emotionally, that's really what I'm talking about, right? Their emotional needs, so that they can fit in to our society and have some choices in life, right? If we can give them some control, because we tend to make decisions that are based on our needs first.
or
And
our
I'm not
convenience.
our convenience, that's it. But it's also
That's
even
it.
like I say to, the whole thing about we have a real need to hug. It calms us down as human beings. But most dogs don't want to be hugged. And if they do, there's a way to confirm consent. Do you want me to hug you or not? Like, for example, my dog loves hugging, but he doesn't like to be picked up. And so if I spread my arms open, I go down, like I kneel down, spread my arms, or he comes running to me for a hug, right? If they're if there's a sense that a given individual dog doesn't want to be hugged, especially most dogs don't want to be pulled, like children might pull their tails or whatever,
Hmm.
right? Not only are we meeting their needs and giving them a say, but we're preventing biting behavior to start. Because I when I educate kids on walks, who might just come and reach to pet my dog, and that's any dog I've had with me, whether it's my clients' dogs or my last dog that lived to 16. I always educate them and I say, first put your hand in front so they can smell you. Let them know who you are, right? But first ask the guardian with the dog, can I touch your dog? May I pet your dog? Because that's the very first thing. The second thing is ask, is it okay if I go from the front or behind? I always say from the front. And I explain to them, coming from behind, depending on the personality of the dog and their nervous level or not, being touched from behind, not knowing they're going to be touched, just by the being startled, they can turn and bite you. And that's that's on us, right? We shouldn't just be touching and reaching and grabbing. Just like I don't want to be touched by other human strangers, right? So I explain this to children. I say, let's say if they're like at least 6 or 7 years old, and I say, let's say you're walking along and somebody comes from behind and touches you on your shoulder. Would that scare you? Like from behind? They say, yeah. And I'd say, what can you do? Well, I can move away. I can push them with my hands. Well, all a dog has is their teeth. And they can't push you with their hands because they're walking on their hands, right? So I say it's something that can be completely avoidable if we just pay attention and communicate with the dogs, even if they're not our dogs, as we approach them. So this is what I mean about putting their needs before ours, because some situations, like I just described, can lead to a dog being euthanized for biting when we created the situation that they had no other choice. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, it's again, it's as much as we love them, always consider how our action or inaction could have impacted them.
Yes.
So
precisely. Well said.
That's just a very again oversimplified things, but something to consider when we interact with any dog.
Yeah. Well said.
So,
very well said.
Thank you. I'll take that. Yeah, so this episode a little longer than we anticipated, but it just, things flow when you are really enjoy the conversation and you have your personal experience to share and some ideas that, hopefully that might help people or our listeners
yes,
to just, oh, I get what you say, or like, that begged me a question. Just let us know what you think about this, and I'll be happy to, learn from you as well, right?
Exactly. So to our listeners, we ask you if you have any comments whatsoever, we'd be delighted.
Oh, by the way, I cannot change my accent, so that's
well,
you stuck with that.
That's totally awesome.
I know, it's like, well, that would be another whole topic to talk about Asian accent. But
you
anyways,
don't need to change a thing, Air. You're
all
so
right.
articulate.
Thank you.
You're articulate. It's all good.
Thank you.
But we would both Air and I would love for you, our listeners, leave some comments. Let us know what you think about our episodes. Tell us if anything we've said had impact or you can relate to in your life. If you would like us to expand on anything, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
We're so excited to have this opportunity. Like, Air, you're just so much fun to talk with.
Thank you. Yeah, that would make two of us, right? Because I talk to myself quite often. Oh well, I'm glad other people think so.
You see, it's not in your imagination.
I know, right? I have my imagination evil twin sister, so.
Well, okay, that's another episode altogether.
I know. Well, one of these days she's gonna, joy conversation, but not now.
Always fun, Air.
Thank
it's so
you.
much fun
Likewise.
talking about what we both have such a passion for.
Yeah, and I'm sure many dog people out there, have similar or sometimes even like really close experiences. Let's just share because sharing is caring, right?
So. And for our listeners, your experiences matter. Your experiences can help other listeners. So we're all in this together, right?
See,
collectively.
Learning should be fun, right? Just like we talked about playing with our dogs. Let's just think about our conversations like a play, silly play, but it's really gonna be a compound success over a long term. So let's
Yes.
just having fun and talk about it.
Yeah. So
All
on that
right.
note,
Yeah.
I'll say so long for now, Air.
Yep. So long for now. Until next time.
Until next time, have a great day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.